This really is a time of emotional mastery. It's time to really listen to the call of your soul, of your heart, of your spirit, and, just get out of the logic of the mind, because this is a time for massive transformation. Welcome to the collective energy balance for March. We are facing a lunar eclipse this week in Virgo. So it's a full moon, it's a lunar eclipse, and I guess eclipses really are that time in our lives where we have this realignment. It disrupts our natural flow, like the natural flow of the sun and the moon and the earth is somehow disrupted, and so it disrupts our natural flow. So you may be feeling heightened emotions. We've got a lot of planets and sort of aspects happening in the 29th degree of Pisces, right at the end of the zodiac, right in that watery realm of emotions, as well as that space where we're completing the whole of the zodiac cycle. So this is like a really potent time for transformation and to stepping into the new, and particularly around our emotions and around emotional mastery. So if we have a look a little bit deeper and we look at the human design side of things, we have the moon in gate, I just forgot for a second, gate 6. So we have the moon in gate 6, and gate 6, the shadow of gate 6 is around conflict. So I really invite you to take a moment just to witness where you have been noticing conflict, either internally or externally. And ultimately we cannot separate the two. Anything that's happening externally is going to be either an energetic reflection of what's going on internally, or it's going to be a projection of what's going on internally. So just for a moment, sit with that concept of, how is conflict playing out in your life, and what are you noticing you are conflicted with? Are you able to accept those points of conflict? How do you deal with those emotions, or with confrontation? Do you avoid people? And I guess it's that same pattern that we can, as I say, that reflects what's going on inside of us. So do you avoid your emotions, or do you use distractions to not feel your emotions? Do you project your emotions just out onto others and through blame? This is really a time to look at these internal conflicts that are mirrored in our external conflicts, and see how you can really own and honor and accept and just simply be with your emotions. Sometimes that's all that they're calling you to do, especially in these heightened moments. As I say, the eclipses are powerful times of transformation. So just in this moment, notice how you deal with your emotions and where that conflict arises, or how you deal with the expression of your emotions to others. Because we're going to do a little exercise in just a moment, just to support the collective in releasing how we contribute conflict in this collective energy. There's a lot going on in the world, we know that, but we don't have control over that. What we have control over is coming back to self and seeing, well, how are you in conflict internally, and how are you projecting that onto others and creating conflict in the world? So take a moment to just really honor the emotions or the internal lesson that you have been perhaps witnessing around that recently, and just see, what is one thing around either your emotions or around how you deal with intimacy with yourself or others, one pattern, one belief, or something that you have that you can let go of. So as I say, it could be a reactive pattern. It could be simply using, alcohol or food as distractions. It could be keeping busy in the world as another distraction through work or just social interactions. But how do you deal with those uncomfortable emotions when that conflict arises within you? And what would serve you to let go of? What pattern, what belief that would support you in getting more in touch with your soul, in touch with your emotions, and just being able to be with your heart? So if you have that answer, if you don't, pause the video for a moment, but if you do, I'm going to just guide you through a little meditation, and we're going to do a bit of a cutting of ties that will support you in letting go of this particular pattern. So if you feel comfortable, and hopefully you're not driving, close your eyes, make yourself comfortable, take a few long, slow, deep breaths. Journeying down, all the way down to your belly, just allowing you to connect into the center of your being. Taking long, slow, deep breaths. Feeling where the surface of the floor or the ground meets your body. And feeling how you are supported by the earth in this moment. And then take a moment to imagine yourself surrounded in a beautiful bubble of love and light. So imagine all of your physical body, your energetic body, completely surrounded by a bubble of love and light. And just feeling that immersion of unconditional love and light around you and through you. And just feeling that level of safety within your beautiful bubble of love and light. And then go ahead and see in its own bubble of love and light this pattern or this belief, or it could be fear that arises for you, that thing that you would like to let go of that will support you in coming into greater contact, greater ease and flow with your emotions, with your soul. So just imagine, as I say, in its own bubble of love and light, that fear or that belief, this thing that you're going to let go of. And just see it surrounded energetically by its own bubble of love and light. And then just take a moment to follow your visual from that bubble of love and light outside of you, this thing that you're letting go of. Just notice that there is a cord, some kind of energetic attachment attached to this thing. And just follow that cord back to your body and notice where it's attached in your body. So where in your body do you have an energetic thread that connects you to this thing? And just take a moment to be in acceptance of this energetic thread, this energetic cord that you have had attached to you, to this thing, to this experience, this fear, whatever it is, it's okay. Just for a moment, accept that you have this attachment. And then when you're ready, go ahead and at the place where it's attached to your body, go ahead and remove it in whatever way feels most appropriate for you. Remove it from your physical energetic being. So you may decide that you touch it and it just disintegrates or turns into butterflies and floats away. You may find you have to get a sword or a feather that actually cuts this cord and releases it from your body. You know, whatever way feels most appropriate for you, go ahead when you're ready and do that now. So just go ahead and release that cord from your body and release this thing that you're letting go of, and watch it just drift away. Watch it disintegrate, whatever way that is right for you to let go of this thing, to let it no longer be attached to you and no longer be within your field of reference. So just go ahead and release it now. Beautiful. And we're just going to do one more little scan of the body and just notice if there's anywhere else that perhaps you have an attachment to that thing, or perhaps there's another thing. We'll just do one more thing, but just noticing if there's any other cords that are attached that need to be released from you now. And even if you find more than one, if you find several, just go ahead and, witness them all, accept that you have, whatever you have there. And then when you're ready, go ahead and just in whichever way feels most appropriate, go ahead and release the rest of the cords that are attached, that have been stopping you from being at peace with yourself, being at peace with your emotions, and transferring that peace out into the world. And I'm just going to do a little bit of extra energy work to help clear and release and just transform a bit of that for you now. Beautiful. So keeping your eyes closed, those spaces where you have released these cords, go ahead and trust your feeling, trust your intuition, whichever way it presents itself to you. Go ahead and find a symbol or a color that you can replace these cords with. Because you know what they say, if you don't choose what to plant in your garden, then all you'll get is weeds. So, rather than having a gaping hole here, let's go ahead and put something that represents for you that emotional mastery, that being at peace, just being okay with whatever arises and finding a positive way that serves your soul and the souls of others to either express or just be with those emotions. So a color or a symbol that represents that for you. And then when you have found that, go ahead and place that color or that symbol in the spaces that you have removed these cords. So go ahead and fill those spaces with that energetic reference to emotional mastery, whatever that means to you. And as you're doing that, perhaps you can even really just feel into what does emotional mastery feel like for you? Like how does that feel? Do you feel empowered? What else do you feel? Like just get a sensation of the feelings for you, whether you see them or whether you feel them through your body. We all have different ways of experiencing these things. So just allow however it comes for you. As you place this symbol, this color within these spaces, just get a sense of feeling that emotional mastery. And then when you've filled these spaces, go ahead and allow this color or this symbol to actually fill your entire energetic bubble that you have created. So that now your energetic bubble is not only filled in that unconditional love and light, but it's also filled in this energy of emotional mastery, the color, the symbol that you know represents for you. And just allow your entire bubble, your physical cells, everything contained energetically and physically within your bubble of love and light to be to be permeated with that emotional mastery, that sense of emotional mastery. And just notice how when you're in that state of emotional mastery, how that is your soul state, that is you reconnected to your soul, to your heart, to that place of your spirit, to that divine guidance that comes through you. Our emotions get in the way. Well, actually, it's not even our emotions that get in the way. It's our resistance to our emotions. It's the resistance or the fear that we have about our emotions. It actually blocks us allowing our emotions to simply move through us. So when we're in that state of emotional mastery, as I say, we are divinely connected to ourselves and to the universe and to others, because we express from that place of soul, from that place that serves our highest good and the highest good of all. So just feeling what that feels like for a moment, to know that connection to soul, not to your logic. Because it's from this place, whatever choice that we make, be it, a bigger choice, like our workplace, where we live, who we surround ourselves by. It could be a day-to-day choice of what you have to eat, or how you're choosing or who you're choosing to use your time and energy with. But when you're connected to that soul place, you can recognize what actually feels right for you. And you're making that choice from your feeling, from that place of alignment, rather than that place of logic. Logic comes in and says, I should be doing this or I shouldn't be doing that. It's that place of our conditioning. So stay connected to that place, that sensation of emotional mastery, of connection to your soul for just a moment as you open your eyes. And then go ahead also, we're going to touch an acupoint just on our top lip. This is the governing vessel number 26. So just putting 2 fingers side by side. We have our thumb. You could use your thumb. It's a neutral charge. But our pointers and basically our other digits, they're positive, negative, positive, negative. So we want 2 together so that we have a neutral charge. And just placing on your top lip, GV 26, governing vessel 26. So the governing vessel is the meridian that runs from the base of our spine up over our head through our brain and basically just into the mouth. But this point here is known as a consciousness point, and it's a really potent point. So just as you're holding it, just feel into what I'm saying, and also it helps connect the mind, if you like. It does help connect the logic to this sense of feeling. It's a consciousness point. It brings consciousness to what you are feeling, back to you, basically, back to your physicality. And it is that pathway of the divine masculine. And so when we hold a point like this, we're basically connecting ourselves to our consciousness, but also along this pathway to divine will. So, the masculine is, I guess, the physical. It is that sense of manifesting into physicality. So this will just help us take this watery sense and all the emotions that you might have been feeling lately and help support it into your logic, into your consciousness, so that you can be more conscious of this state of emotional mastery and more conscious just of your reactions, so that you can be more conscious in how you respond to things. So as you continue to hold this point, I just want to read a couple more pieces on this point. So this energy release point speaks to the importance of placing oneself first in order to be able to assist others. It has a function, the main function is the empowerment of resurrection and resuscitation, to bring back the essence when disconnection from both the energies of the creative force and the earth mother, so the masculine and the feminine, have parted company. So when there is a disconnection from essence, that creative force, that masculine and vital life forces, earth, the being in the physical body is in a vulnerable state. It is in this vulnerable state that mental, emotional, and physical fracturing can occur. Fracturing to the extent of becoming a host to astral entities, dark forces, and fear-based thought forms, as an alternate ghost guest room suggests. Unblocking and activating this energy release point allows for the flow of harmony from divine sources to reach the core of our being. It is through the connection to the inner core that wisdom reigns. When wisdom is established, purpose and direction finds the path. Once on the path, one can resume the walk through life in simplicity, cultivating peace, harmony, and joy. So that's beautiful. Like, you reconnect to the path through your emotional mastery. So that's connecting that heart and soul with the logic, as I say, with that consciousness, to be able to respond consciously and beautifully and limit that inner conflict, and therefore limit that outer conflict. And we need this so desperately now. So I wish you so many blessings at this eclipse time.